Hi, Danika Watson, nurse practitioner. Today we are going to discuss the formula shortage that's going on. Disclaimer, this is not medical advice, recommendations, or a diagnosis. This does not take the place of a well child check or a sick visit. If you have any questions, please reach out to your healthcare provider or your pediatrician. So if many of you have been in the stores or been on social media or have friends who are having to formula feed their baby, you've probably heard of the formula shortage that we are experiencing right now. This is mostly due to a recent callback from Similac, where we as an entire nation had to dispose of many cans of Similac formula. So you coupled this with the freeze in 2021 and COVID in 2020, where a lot of things were shut down and plants were shut down. The supply does not meet the demand. And unfortunately, the demand is not going anywhere. It's only getting stronger. So the formula shortage is a real thing, and I'm hoping that these formula companies can and will at some point be able to catch up. In the meantime, parents need to know what to do or how to deal with this. And the first thing I want everyone to know is, if you know someone who is going through this, or if you yourself are going through this, anytime you have a question or something you're not sure of, please pick the phone up and call your healthcare provider. There are things that we can do. There are tricks that we have that we can tell you to help bridge a gap or to get you by a short time until you can find some formula. There are some programs out there that we can help you plug you into. Prescriptions, maybe, if the pharmacies have them, but we have all of these avenues that we can try to help get you and your family some formula. The things that I want to point out that I don't want you as a parent doing, and I want you to make sure we're advocating for our kids, we do not need to be limiting formula. So if your baby is eating every 3 hours, we're not going to push them to every 5 or 6 hours because we're short. We can't do that. You do not need to water down your formula so it goes further. I know this may sound like a really good idea, and we water down juice if you give your kids juice. However, the thing is, when you water down that formula, you aren't giving your baby enough nutrients. And so a baby is not meant to drink just water. If they were, we would really advocate for you to give them water, but we don't advocate for water to be added in maybe an ounce or two between 6 and 9 months, maybe 2 to 4 between 9 months and 1 year, and then they can start having more water. But the substance, the liquid substance they needs to have nutrients. It needs the vitamins, it needs the minerals, it needs the fat. So that's why we don't want to water down any formula. So we don't want to space it out any further than we have to. We don't want to water it down, and we don't want to completely stop. So you can't find any, you're in a pickle, well, I just won't give them any. We can't do that. We have to give these babies nutrients, right? Say you have a 6-month-old and they are taking baby foods as well, but those foods and the baby foods, or even if you're making them, aren't enough to help their brain grow. So they really need that milk, okay? Now, whether it's cow's milk or in the form of formula, whether it's breast milk or whether it's goat's milk, all of those things have so many good nutrients in them, and that's really what the baby needs for the brain to grow. So some good alternatives. If you can breastfeed, that is wonderful. If you are not able to breastfeed, I feel your pain, I understand it, and there are options out there. So you've got, I do want to say that, like, if you're on a Similac brand or if you're on an Enfamil brand, say you're on Similac sensitive or the Enfamil sensitive one. If you go to Walmart, HEB, CVS, Target, and all they have are their brands in that sensitive style, those are fine. You can supplement those hand in hand. You can exchange those, okay? If you need to, like, if we get to a point to where you cannot find anything, you can always go to like a goat's milk. Okay. But I just ask that you reach out to your healthcare provider. You go over your difficulties with them. That way they know exactly what they the points to tell you to help make sure your baby is getting enough nutrients. Y'all have a great day.